What's up, YouTube? I hope each and every one of you guys are healthy and achieving some of your goals today. Today it is a little bit blustery outside, but that is not going to stop us from reviewing the 2023 Chevy Equinox RS. Huge thank you to Jesus Montes over at Koons, Tysons, Chevy, Buick, GMC for allowing me to do this review for you guys today. If you guys are interested in this particular Equinox or any GM product, with the exception of Cadillac, I'll be sure to have Jesus's information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. Just like I start each and every one of my videos, we're going to talk about the exterior and performance first. So like I said, this is a 2023 Chevy Equinox RS, and this particular one has been painted in Summit White. With the RS, you do get LED headlights with IntelliBeam. IntelliBeam is just a fancy way of saying automatic high beams, and then you also get LED daytime running lights. So what's kind of interesting is that the headlights and the DRLs are separated by this black chrome piece. So these are your DRLs, and the bottom is your headlights. Making our way over to the front end, you can see that with the RS, you do get a black grille with a black chrome trim piece that flows in between your DRLs and your headlights, which is what I pointed out right here. You can see they're both split by that black chrome trim piece. It looks pretty darn sweet. And then you also get a black bow tie emblem with the RS, as well as the red RS badging on the driver's side of your front grille. And then taking a look towards the bottom of the front bumper, you get 3 lower grills in gloss black. You get 2 on the outside, so you get 1 right here, as well as 1 over there, and then you get that 1 in the center. Again, they're all gloss black. They look fantastic in matching with your front grille. And then right here, that is your turn signal. It is halogen. And then that is your turn signal as well. And then last but not least, you do get 4 forward-facing sensors on the RS as well. So you get 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's about it for the front end. Working our way around to the side, you get a side marker light, but with the RS, you do get these 19-inch dark Android aluminum wheels wrapped in 235/50 Hankook Kinergy GT tires. Give you guys a look at the tread pattern on those tires the best that I can. I apologize, the lighting is not the greatest, but right up top here, you do get a McPherson front suspension. It is an independent suspension, and that is a look of that. You also get some carpeting in your wheel well for better acoustics on the interior when it comes to road noise. And then one more thing I wanted to mention, and that has to do with the braking system. So for 2023, GM switched to an electrically assisted braking system versus a vacuum assisted braking system, and they call that e-boost. Just something that I thought I would point out. I know a lot of you guys don't really care about that, but I know there are probably a few of you who do. But working our way up to the side view mirrors, you do get body color mirror caps. The side view mirrors are heated, power adjustable, manual folding, and the only option on this particular Equinox is the $200 lane change alert with blind spot and rear cross traffic alert. So you got your little blind spot monitoring thing on the left hand side of the driver side mirror and on the right hand side of the passenger side mirror. Working our way up to the top of the roof line, you do get some black roof rails, black window trim, body color door handles, and then on your front 2 passenger doors you have your black Equinox lettering. And then all the way at the bottom, again, of all your passenger doors, you get some satin black body side cladding, and that is a look at that. This is where you'll find your capless filler neck. So push on that fuel door will open up to reveal your capless filler neck. You also get a 4-link rear suspension back here. Those are your dark Android 19-inch wheels. And then that is what your rear suspension looks like. Again, more of that carpeting wheel well liner, again, for better acoustics when it comes to road noise. Up top, you get a satin black shark fin antenna. You get a body color roof spoiler, which looks pretty sweet. And that is where you'll find your integrated 3rd brake light right here. Get your rear wiper blade. Again, you get the black bow tie emblems out back as well. And one thing that's pretty cool is that you do get LED taillights. However, they have like a smoked look to them, and they look absolutely fantastic here on the RS. And then just below your bow tie emblem is where you'll find your rear view camera. With the RS, again, you get some black badging back here. So you got your Equinox lettering in black, all-wheel drive lettering in black, and then you got your RS badging in red. But just below your bow tie emblem, you'll find a little pad. So if you press on that pad, the power liftgate will open up. The power liftgate comes standard with the RS. And then making our way into the interior, taking a look, opening this up, you have a very good amount of storage space down in here, and I believe maybe under there it's like saying that there might be spare tire. So your spare tire is located underneath your trunk. That's what that looks like. Then you get a little storage cubby on this side. You get another little tiny storage cubby on this side. And then if you pull these two things, I'm gonna pull just this side, and that's gonna drop the second row seats. So you can see this is gonna drop the right side second row seat, and then this is gonna drop the left side of your second row seating. But that's about it for the trunk. Press on this button right here and the power lift gate will close. Continuing on down the back end, you get two reflectors, one on the driver's side, one on the passenger side. You get another black chrome trim piece just below that. And then one thing I wanted to point out again is that you get 4 rear view sensors back here. So you got 1, you got 2, 3, and 4 over there. And then you get a white rear valance. And then if you guys were wondering about the max tow capacity of the 2023 Equinox RS, it is 1,500 pounds. So you could pull maybe, you know, one jet ski, maybe four-wheeler or a side-by-side or something like that. But really, just keep in mind that you really cannot tow that much with the Equinox. But let me know what you guys think of the 2023 Equinox in the comments down below. I think this thing looks very, very good, especially here with the RS trim level. But again, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. But let's move into performance. Popping open that hood reveals that 1.5 liter turbo 4-cylinder that makes 175 horsepower and 203 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to a 6-speed automatic transmission for a 0 to 60 time in 8.9 seconds. If you guys were wondering about fuel economy, you can achieve 24 miles per gallon in the city, 30 miles per gallon on the highway for 26 miles per gallon combined with all-wheel drive, which comes standard on the RS. I think those fuel economy numbers are pretty respectable, especially considering the size of this vehicle. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. But if you guys are enjoying the video so far today, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm really trying to hit 10,000 subscribers, and I cannot do that without your guys' help. So if you guys would, please take a second out of your day, give the video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. But let's move into the interior. Before we move into the interior, I wanted to show you guys a look at the key fob. So taking a look at the key fob with the RS, you do get remote start, but obviously you get your lock and unlock functions, and then pressing on that button will pop open the power lift gate. You also get keyless access, so all you got to do is have your key fob in your pocket, walk up to the vehicle, put your finger on this little chrome button, and the vehicle will unlock. These chrome buttons can be found only on the driver door and the front passenger door. But let's move into the interior and let's see what the interior on the RS is all about. So you get some red accent colored stitching, you get a nicely padded armrest, and it is in black. I know the camera's not picking it up very well. You get a little spot you can grab to close the door, aluminum door handle, unlock and lock buttons, automatic up and down driver window. All the other windows are automatic down only. Here are your power adjustable mirror controls. This is to restrict your passenger window privileges. Taking a look at the bottom of the door panel, it's a bunch of black plastic, and then you get a great spot down here. You can set whatever miscellaneous items you want to, as well as a smart water bottle. And then right here, this is your power lift gate button. So you press on that button, power lift gate will open up. It will also close if you press on that button, and you can either turn the power lift gate off, you can turn it to open up 3/4 of the way, or you can turn it to open up all the way, which is what it was set to. So that is what I'm going to leave it on. And then you can see you get a Equinox door sill. It's like that black plastic material. You get a power front driver seat. I'm going to go over to the passenger side. Let's see what the passenger seat is. I believe it's power as well, but let's take a look. No, it is a manual front passenger seat. So you get a power front driver seat, but a manual front passenger seat with the RS. But taking a look down the center of the seat, this whole center of the seat is cloth. You get some leather on the sides, but again, the entire midsection of the seat is cloth with some red accent color. It looks absolutely fantastic. You get some red accent colored stitching. One thing that I thought was pretty cool is you get this little RS tag on both the front driver and front passenger seating. But let's move into the interior and let's see what the RS is all about. So again, like I said, you get keyless access, so that does mean you get push button start. Just make sure you have your key fob in the interior, push your foot down on the brake and push to start. You can hear that 1.5 liter roar to life. All right, let's start over here. So you can see this little knob type of thing. If you push that in, it goes away. Push that back out, and you can see you can adjust the brightness and or dimness of your gauge cluster, as well as your backlit buttons. This is your headlight control knob. So right now it's in headlights automatic. If I twist that to the left, automatic light control turns off. If I twist that one to the right, that turns my daytime running lights on. And if I twist that all the way to the right, that keeps my headlights always on. I'm gonna keep it in automatic because why not? Taking a look at our steering wheel, you do get a leather wrapped steering wheel with some red accent colored stitching on the inside of the steering wheel. On the left hand side, you got your cruise control settings, and then this is like your lane keep assist button on or off. And then on the right hand side, you have your thing to pick up on a phone call or speak to the vehicle. This is to hang up on a phone call. And then you have these different 4 arrows as well as that check. That is to control what goes on in your 4.2 inch productivity screen located at the center of your gauge cluster. But let's take a listen to our turn signal. That is what the turn signal sounds like on the 2023 Equinox. On the left-hand side of the gauge cluster, you have your RPM gauge. On the right-hand side of the gauge cluster, you have your speedometer. But I wanted to show you guys what the horn sounds like. That is what the horn sounds like on the 2023 Equinox. Again, up top here, you have your fuel gauge. That is your coolant temperature gauge. And then this is your 4.2 inch productivity screen, which right now is displaying our fuel range, as well as letting us know that we are in park. Our odometer, which has 9 miles on it. And then you can see that S right there. That lets us know that we are facing in a southern direction. So I can go throughout this screen again with these different arrows. So I'm gonna go down once. That is remaining oil life. Down one more time. That is tire pressure stuff, air filter life, average speed, and your timer. And then you got your digital speedometer readout. This is the screen that I would personally leave it on if this was my vehicle, but I'm gonna go back to the left. I'm pressing on this button right here, and that's your info screen. You can go in between your options. So right now you can turn that stuff on. You can go in between this, speed warning, traction control, blah, blah, blah. Go over, you can change it between US and metric. Really, if it was me, I'd leave it right on this screen. That's just my personal opinion. You do get forward collision alert, so you have a little thing right up top here, and that will flash red a couple times to let you know that you're coming up on a vehicle too fast and to hit on the brakes. If you guys don't hit on the brakes in time, the vehicle will stop itself for you. Again, I said you get push button start, so that is the button to start the vehicle. However, I'm gonna move to a spot where it's a little bit shadier. Now we're in a better spot. So taking a look up top here, this is your 7-inch infotainment screen with wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto connectivity. Works absolutely fantastic. However, one thing I wanted to mention pretty much right off the bat is that this is relatively a base model RS, so the only option that this has is the $200 lane change alert with blind spot and rear cross traffic alert. That is the only option on this vehicle. Now, if you guys just add leather, like all you got to do literally is go on the website, add leather, and that pretty much makes this vehicle fully loaded because it also includes a 360-degree view camera, adaptive cruise control, you get integrated side mirror turn signals, you get an 120-volt rear outlet, which is located right here if you guys get the leather, and then also you get an SD card reader, which would be right there, and then you also get a 7-speaker Bose sound system, an 8-inch infotainment screen rather than the 7-inch, which is found here. And then you get a heated steering wheel and you get USB ports in your armrest. So right now you can see right here, it's just like a little blank spot. So if you guys got the leather, there would be 2 USB ports right here if you guys got the leather. But going throughout this screen right now, you got your audio stuff, phone stuff, Wi-Fi stuff, setting stuff, wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, like I mentioned, OnStar services. You can press the home button, that brings you into this screen here. So even if you guys don't get the leather, which basically makes this fully loaded, you still get Sirius XM. So this is like your media screen. Press that home button again, it brings you back into this screen. You guys can see those are your different things. That's your time, that's the ambient exterior temperature. That is like the 4G connectivity, how many bars you have. And then below that, home button, this is to go back on a track, this is to go forward on a track, this is your volume control knob, and then this will bring you into your phone. Right now I do not have a phone connected. Below that, this is to turn your auto stop start system on or off. This is your hazard button. That's what your hazards sound like. And then with the RS, you do get dual zone climate control. So right now we are both on different temperatures. I'm on 69, they're on 72. I'm on a good number. And then you also get heated front seats with the RS as well, with 3 levels of adjustability. So that's 1, 2, 3, and that is off. Again, same goes for the passenger right there. Dual zone climate control, like I mentioned. You get a USB-C port, a USB-A port, an auxiliary jack, and a 12-volt outlet. As well as down here is a great spot. You can set your phone while it is charging if you are connected to either the USB ports or the 12-volt outlet. This is what your gear shifter looks like. So you can see you get a little RS on it. You get some red accent colored stitching, and then this is some leather. This is to turn your all-wheel drive on or off. So right now I believe all-wheel drive is off. Click that again, all-wheel drive mode is on. And then just to the right of that, this is to turn your park assist on or off. So this is basically turning your forward and your rear view sensors on or off by the push of that button. This is your electronic parking brake. So all you gotta do is pull up on that, the parking brake engages, and you can tell the parking brake is engaged because it says park right there in red. If you guys want to disengage the electronic parking brake, just make sure you push your foot down on the brake and then push down on that, and then the parking brake will disengage. You can see it says parking brake released. You get 2 cup holders here. Right now I have a pretty big Brita water bottle, and it fits in there no problem. So that's a very nice thing. Let's see, it'll fit in there as well. Of course it does. And then you get some miscellaneous storage space right here. If you guys want to set one of those little small hand sanitizer things, that would fit in there no problem. You get a center fold down armrest that is leather wrapped, nicely padded with some red accent colored stitching. Opening this up, you get a little divider that you can take in or out if you want to, and it is right here. And then taking that out and then looking down in here, you get a very good amount of storage space, as well as an LED light. I would say, dang, my whole forearm fits down in there. So that's actually a very good amount of storage space for a vehicle of this size. Normally, like a vehicle of this size, that storage space down in there is about half of my forearm, whereas this is my whole forearm. So very good amount of storage space down in there. Again, you get that red RS tag on the passenger seat as well. I think that looks pretty sweet. And then over here, you do get a, no, you do not get a lockable glove box. So your glove box is not lockable. However, you have a very good amount of storage space in your glove box. Again, you get some more of that red accent colored stitching on your passenger side dash. That is your rear view mirror. It's just an old-fashioned rear view mirror. It is not auto dimming. Get your OnStar stuff up top here. So basically, if you get in an accident, you can press a button and it will call the police. This is to let you know if your passenger airbag is on or off. You get a driver light, you get a passenger light, you can turn them on or off. Then you get a great spot up top here. You can set your sunglasses, which is very nice. And then let's take a look at our visor. Opening up the visor, you get a vanity mirror with 2 vanity lights, and then you also get a little clip right here to set your money, registration, parking ticket, something like that. Let's see if this will slide. Popping that out. Boom, it slides forward and backwards, so that's very nice. So if like the sun is like right here, but visor is in its regular position, you can pull it back and then it will block the sun. So that is a very nice thing. A lot of German cars do not have that. And then same goes for the passenger side visor as well. Passenger gets an O-poop handle, the driver gets an O-poop handle, as well as a spot to pick up your voice for a Bluetooth phone call. Passenger gets the exact same thing on that side as well. That's really about it for these 2 front seats. I do want to go over a few things. Is that just with the base RS, you do get a 6-speaker sound system, dual zone climate control, you get a power liftgate, you get remote start, and you get heated front seats, as well as a few other things. A couple things that I wanted to mention. I already went over this, but if you add leather, you pretty much make this vehicle fully loaded, because if you add the leather, you have to add all the other options. Like, they just all come together. And then that is a $2,780 option. And again, I'm going to read over what you get with that again. 360 camera, adaptive cruise control. You get the side view mirror turn signals, as well as a 120 volt rear outlet. You get a SD card reader, 7-speaker Bose sound system. You get an 8-inch infotainment screen, whereas this one is a 7-inch. You get a heated steering wheel, and then you get USB ports under your center fold down armrest. A couple things I wanted to mention. These are cool but unnecessary options. Is the $435 illuminated bow tie. I think that's a pretty cool option. If you guys get the leather and make this thing fully loaded, might as well get the illuminated bow tie to let everybody know you're driving a pretty sweet Chevy. And then the other option that I personally would get would be the $1,495 panoramic roof. So if you guys add the panoramic roof as well as the leather seating, the MSRP roughly of a fully loaded Equinox is about $37,000 to $38,000. Whereas this one here, I'll talk about the pricing here in a minute, but I want to go over some government safety ratings. So I'm going to pull that up now. With the government safety ratings on screen, the overall vehicle score is 5 stars. Frontal crash is 5 stars for both the driver and the passenger, and then the side crash is 5 stars for both the front and rear seats. Rollover is the only one that gets 4 stars. So this is a very safe vehicle. So if God forbid you get in an accident, just know that you are in a very safe vehicle. But I'm going to throw some safety and security stuff on screen, and I'm going to go over that with you guys now. So this does have Chevy Safety Assist, which includes automatic emergency braking, forward collision alert, front pedestrian braking, lane keep assist with lane departure warning, following distance indicator, and your automatic high beams. It also has teen driver, tire pressure monitor, backup camera, theft deterrent system, and front and rear parking sensors. Now I'm going to throw the rest of the window sticker on screen, and we'll talk about the MSRP. So the MSRP of the way that this particular 2023 Equinox RS is spec'd is $33,895. Let me know what you guys think of that price in the comment section down below. Again, if this was me and I was going to buy this vehicle, and you know, I wanted something that was going to be fully loaded, I would add the leather as well as the pano roof. And again, you're looking at about a $37,000 to $38,000 MSRP if you guys add those two options. But I do want to show you guys what's going on in those rear seats before we move into the driving portion of the review. Of course, right now when I'm filming the interior, it is not windy, but you know, that's just how it goes sometimes. And that is a look at your rear door panel. Looks very similar to the front. The only difference really, besides not having all the controls that the driver has, is that you only get an automatic down rear window. You do not get an automatic up rear window. You get an aluminum door handle, and then some miscellaneous storage space towards the bottom of the door panel. Here's a look at these rear seats. Again, like I mentioned, you can fold the second row seats down. You can fold them either from right there, or you can fold them from right here as well. So a couple different spots that you can fold them through. I hear a super bike ripping right now, but let's step into the interior. You do get a center fold down armrest with 2 cup holders, as well as you get 2 HVAC vents. You get a seat back pocket behind the driver's seat, another seat back pocket behind the passenger seat, and then you get 2 USB-A ports back here as well. But again, you guys option for the leather. You also get a 120 volt household power outlet located here as well. Sitting behind myself, I'm actually, I adjusted this seat further back than I normally would, like driving, and you can see I still have a ton of leg room, a ton of knee room, and a ton of headroom as well. I'm 5'9", and I fit behind myself no problem. That is my leg room, knee room, and everything. And then again, that is my headroom. You get an OPU panel on this side. You get an OPU panel on this side, as well as a dome light. Obviously, you get a dome light over there. And then you get a Bluetooth mic pickup for your Bluetooth phone. Then you get the same thing over here on the passenger side as well. But really, that's about it for these rear seats. So, you know, we've talked about the exterior, we talked about the performance, and now we've talked about what's going on here in the interior of the Equinox RS. So I want to see what this thing's like to drive, as I'm assuming you guys do as well. So I'll see you guys in the driver's seat. All right, and now on to the driving portion of the review. And I just took this thing around a couple turns, not like at a crazy speed, but it handled very well. And you know, that's something that I've always talked about when I do reviews of GM vehicles as a whole, is that they all remain very flat when you take them around turns. Like, there's very minimal body roll. It doesn't matter if it's a Tahoe, if it's a Yukon, or if it's an Equinox like we have here today. They all handle very well, and honestly better than you would expect them to, and this is no different. This thing handles really well. We're gonna go around a turn pretty much right here, and I'll show you guys that this thing does handle very well. So we'll go about 35 miles an hour, and it remains so flat. It's honestly, it's surprising how well that this thing handles, and also handles well going over these bumps on this bridge. This bridge absolutely stinks. If you guys have seen any of my other videos, you guys know we always drive over that bridge, and this thing drives over that bridge very, very well. So handles great, honestly, when it comes to turning, when it comes to going over bumps and stuff like that, it handles very, very well. And you know, it's just an overall really nice riding and driving vehicle. It's very easy to drive, it's very easy to park. If you guys want it to be a little bit easier to park than this one we have here in our tester here today, again, if you guys add leather, you get a 360-degree view camera, which definitely helps when it comes to parking situations and tight spots and stuff like that. A 360-degree view camera is always welcome. But the reality is you don't really need it because this is a small vehicle, so it's really not that hard to park without the 360 camera. And you do get those forward and rear view sensors as well as a backup camera. So really, this thing shouldn't be that difficult to park the way that this one's spec'd without the 360-degree view camera. But another thing I wanted to mention is that this does have active noise cancellation, which makes it very quiet in here. Again, if you guys heard me talking on the exterior part of the video, I was talking about how windy it was outside, and you guys can hear, and we'll do a little highway cruise up to, when we get up to it, but you guys can hear just how quiet it is even here on a windy day with the wind blowing right and left. Normally on like a vehicle that's, you know, relatively inexpensive, you guys can kind of hear the wind, but I can't really hear the wind, at least right now. Maybe when we get on the highway we might hear a little bit of wind, but as of right now I'm happy with how it sounds at speed. But we're gonna take a right here. And one thing I also wanted to mention is that when I was driving this thing around and I let off of the accelerator, I could hear the blow-off valve from the turbo, which is pretty cool, you know. It's cool to kind of incorporate that kind of stuff on, you know, a vehicle like this. This isn't like a BMW X3M where it's, you know, totally built around performance. This is more built around, you know, the cool look and the good handling and just, you know, a cooler than normal, you know, SUV. And I think it's kind of cool how they incorporated that blow-off sound because, you know, it just makes the driving experience a little bit more fun, you know, than if it didn't make that noise. But we're going to pull out onto this road. I'm going to wait for a clearing in the traffic, and then we'll do a little acceleration. All right, coast is clear, and we'll do a little something here just up to the speed limit. I'm not really getting on it, but relatively good acceleration. You know, I guess one thing that I did miss on the interior part of the video is that right but here behind the steering wheel, like behind these controls, you have a volume up and a volume down button. And then on this side of the steering wheel behind your cruise control settings, you have a tuning button. So you got tuning up and tuning down. So there are two buttons on this side, like with my middle finger and then this finger. That's about right where they are. And then same thing on this side as well. But this is your volume side, and then this is your tuning side. So you can see it rides pretty well over those bumps. One thing I like is that you do get those cool looking wheels on this as compared to like the LT and the Premier. I think these wheels look a lot better than both of the wheels that you can get on either one of those trim levels. But again, this is the sporty variant of the Equinox looks wise or trim wise. So, you know, obviously you would expect those good looks. Right now, auto stop start turned the vehicle off. And what's kind of cool is that even with auto stop start turning the vehicle off, you can still turn the steering wheel, but you can also turn auto stop start off by pressing on this button, and the auto stop start system turns off. So you can have that on, you can have that off. It's kind of, you know, to your liking. But yeah, you know, considering this is a $33,000 vehicle, it's pretty comfortable. Like, I'm sitting in the seat right now and I feel like I'm at a good ride height in how I sit, and that's the pre-collision braking, or not the pre-collision braking, but the forward collision alert that I was telling you guys about. You get the sound, you get that red flash. So that is pretty cool that I caught that in action. Normally I don't catch that in action, but you can also adjust the sensitivity of that by pressing on this button right here. So right now we are in the most sensitive mode. That's about the middle sensitive mode, and then this is the least sensitive mode. So again, most, middle, least. I'm gonna leave it on most because that's what it was on. But you can see how sensitive it was when I was coming up to that vehicle. You know, I wasn't really even that close to it, and it still went off. So you can adjust that to your liking, whether you want it to be more sensitive or less sensitive. Personally, if this was my vehicle, I'd have it on the least sensitive mode. But again, that's just personal preference. But again, you know, not really. I mean, you do have a blind spot, but you really don't have that big of a blind spot, and your blind spot's just back there. But again, you have the $200 blind spot monitoring on this particular Equinox. So for 200 bucks, you get blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alert. I think it's worth it. But again, we're gonna pull up to this highway entrance here. We'll do a little acceleration. We'll see what the on-ramp acceleration is like with the RS. But again, you guys can see auto stop start turned the vehicle off. Supposedly supposed to save a little bit of gas. I don't know how much gas it really saves. Personally, I'm not an auto stop start fan, but again, you can turn it on or off by the push of that button right there. So I turned it back on again. Now I turned it back off again, and I'm probably going to leave it off for the rest of the drive. One thing that I like, damn, all those people just ran that red light. That's hilarious. But anyway, that's besides the point. One thing I like about the Equinox is the RS is that you do get dual zone climate control, but it also reads the temperature on, what the heck is going on here? It also reads the temperature on the climate control knobs as well. I guess they were just dropping that guy off. So yeah, that's why they did that. But we're gonna do a little on-ramp acceleration onto the highway here, and we'll see what the RS can do. So I'm just gonna floor it. So this is floored. Okay, one thing I probably should note is that the transmission, to me anyway, feels kind of lazy. It didn't quite shift as fast as I would have liked it to. However, I felt like the engine had more than enough get up and go to merge me into highway speed traffic. But again, the transmission was a little bit slow on the 1 to 2 shift. But if you guys don't care about transmission speeds like I do, then it's not going to be that big of an issue. But we'll give you guys a second to see what it sounds like here on a windy day on the highway going about 64 miles an hour. And yeah, that's what it sounds like. One thing I like is that you can just barely click the turn signal stalk and you get those 3 turn signals. I definitely like that. But really, pretty much all new vehicles do that nowadays. But again, personally, if this was my Equinox RS, I would definitely get the leather, because really, I know $2,800 is a lot of money, but to me, it is worth it because you get adaptive cruise control, as well as a host of other options that I've mentioned to you guys. So personally for me, that is a worthwhile option, and really at the end of the day, that's the only option that I would recommend at the end of the day. You know, obviously a panoramic roof for $1,495 is nice, but if you guys add the leather seating, you guys get a whole host of features that you wouldn't otherwise get. So that is definitely something, you know, spend the extra 2,800 bucks, believe me, it is worth it. But again, that's my personal opinion, but that is definitely a option that I would recommend that you guys get. I always give a recommendation in each one of my videos of packages that I recommend you guys get that I think is worthwhile, worth the price, for features to price kind of ratio. I think that is definitely a worthwhile option. But that's it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed the video, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm really trying to hit 10,000 subscribers, and I cannot do that without your guys' help. So I greatly appreciate it if you guys would take a second out of your day to give the video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. But I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.